Sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
It's not gonna happen, and Daniel McMillan,
Pennsylvania native, kept here winning here at Pocono.
Third win of the season, and win the championship.
Ryan Benjamin with the last lap pass.
And he is going to score the victory in the Minute Maid 300.
Sam Oskin, third win of the season.
He's gonna get it and only leads 3 laps today!
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 19 in season number 5 of the NOFSRL Turkey Hill Series. We are here at the grandest racetrack in the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is the July 4th weekend in the NOFSRL, and let me tell you, we got a lot of great stuff coming up this weekend here on Napa Fan and all the NOFSRL channels. And it's a pretty big weekend for the NOFSRL as we're introducing a new logo, a new intro, an updated theme, bringing some cool stuff here to the NOFSRL here, and got a lot of great races to run here in Indianapolis and other racetracks throughout the weekend here in the NOFSRL. But we begin here with the Turkey Hill Series and their 19th race of the season. Only 10 races remain in the schedule. And right after that wild race we had at Pocono where pit strategy came into play, we come to a very similar racetrack. And Carter Friesen, who won that race last week at Pocono, will be leading us to the green flag. Join alongside Indiana native Nathan Stapleton for this one. And you got a pretty big day ahead of you tomorrow trying to make it into the chase of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. But outside of that, with these guys not having a chase, it being a strict points championship, how are these guys going to manage this race, especially if they start in the back of the field and it only being a 20-lap race?
Well, this track is a monster, 2.5 miles, very flat, very much of a driver's racetrack, and it can be hard to pass here. At Indy, it's not the easiest track to make passes, especially for drivers that start in the back and that are trying to go to the front. So for drivers in the back, they have to be aggressive but smart if they want to go to the front.
Yeah, and these guys don't have much time to go to the front. Only 20 laps of racing, a 50-mile race here today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but like Nathan said, passing's a little bit difficult here, and I think the winner may come from around the top 10. There'll be a pit stop in this race as well, so that's also going to play into effect. Obviously, it played into effect quite a bit last week at Pocono. This guy's trying to make it the whole way, but they couldn't get it to work for him. And because of that, Josh King took the points lead back away from Jacob Hammond. The thing is, today, Josh King does not get a good starting position. He's got 472 points towards the championship. Jacob Hammond is 21 points behind. John Andrews is 29 points behind. Parker Smith, Zachary DeLoe tied for 4th in the points. 39 points behind coming into this, the Penn Grade 250 from Indianapolis here on this Friday afternoon. July 4th weekend 2020, and a pretty big July 4th weekend in Indianapolis in real life and here in the NOFSRL as well. Carter Friesen on the pole alongside Bobo Jones in row number 1. Seth Cole will be starting alongside Chloe Reiner in row number 2. We got Clark McKee to the inside of Nick Smith. Nick Smith has won this race before. He'll be starting in the 6th position. Owen Miles to the inside of Trey Smith, then Hunter Blade and Brandon Mayhew make up the top 10 starting positions here at Indy. Everybody's rolling off right here. And we mentioned that Josh King does not have a good starting position for this race. Of course, second in points, Jacob Hammond does not either. They're both in the 18th row. And with how short this race is, they might have to pull some strategy to work their way through the points. John Anderson, the 32, not too far up ahead of them, only 29 points behind. Parker Smith is starting last for this race. And Zachary DeLello, midway through the field, but starting on the outside lane. So the points, you can see some new players come in after this one, heading into Nashville next weekend. Nashville Super Speedway, to be exact as well. Not the fairgrounds anymore, as the track, unfortunately, not suitable for the racing quite yet. We're going to go and head to the Super Speedway once again for the first weekend of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Chase next weekend here on Napa Fan. But the focus is now in Indianapolis. Of course, Nathan, you've always wanted to win here, and actually you have in the IROC Series before. But in today's race, who do you think's going to go to victory lane here in the Penn Grade 250?
And my pick for today, it's going to be the driver that's won this race before, Nick Smith in the number 10. I think he's going to have a good shot.
We're going to have to see. Of course, like you mentioned, he's won this race before. Would not be surprised if he did it again here today. Only 20 laps of action here in Indianapolis, but it's going to play out similar to Pocono, given that these guys don't try to make it the whole way through the race. I don't think that's going to happen this time, but either way, Carter Friesen wants another win, and he's going to take the green flag at the Brickyard on July 4th weekend here at Indianapolis. Side by side on the first lap of action here in Indianapolis, and Carter Friesen looking to work the outside lane off of turn 4. Who's going to lead the first lap here in the Penn Grade 250? It'll be Carter Friesen with a bonus point towards the championship here at Indianapolis. But Bubba Jones holding the inside, and he may get the advantage off of turn 1.
Bobo Jones in the 73. He got a great one on the inside lane. The inside lane is where you want to be in 3 out of the 4 turns. Turn 4, it's both lanes. But right now, Bobo Jones out front with a hard charge and Seth Cole right behind him.
And Seth Cole, yeah, huge win for him if he could get it. Of course, it's been a tough season for Seth Cole, coming in 24th in points. Did get the win at Martinsville's, had a few good runs as of late. But he's trying to push Bobo Jones to the race lead and make it a battle between the 79 and the 73. Clark McKee, Owen Miles now inside the top 5, and Hunter Blade looking to the inside of Carter Friesen. Friesen led the last lap here in Indianapolis. Has fallen all the way back to 5th in just 1 lap. Side by side right there between Blade and Reiner. That is for the 6th position. You got Alphabet here in the number 19, Matthew Brown, and Jonathan Logan inside the top 10. Good run for Anderson Racing right now. Both of their drivers currently inside the top 10 here at Indianapolis. These guys single file up front right here. Clark McKee, Owen Miles going to draft up to the back bumper of Seth Cole.
The top 6 are all single file, and we might see a tandem, a 2-car tandem situation between these top 6. We have to wait and see if they do that. But right now, single file, playing it nice and safe early on.
And of course, that's what you want to do. Sometimes we can see some pretty bad accidents here. Of course, Indianapolis 250 was run here just a little over a month ago, and we saw some wild accidents in that race. Of course, Nicholas Samadia won that one, but the speeds that the Indy cars drive here is much faster than the speeds these stock cars drive, so a lot more technical here because these guys have to slow down through the corners a lot more. And speaking of IndyCar, tomorrow night, they got one of their crown jewel events at Auto Club, the America 100 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night on Napa Fan, so we're looking forward to that one. But Seth Cole content to stay behind Bobo Jones, and when the Hearst Dash Series was here back in May, passing was very sparse. We only had 1 pass for the race lead in that 16-lap event, and very similar physics on these cars as it was for the Hearst Dash Series back in May. So we could see ourselves a dominating performance out of one of these drivers with only maybe 1 pass for the race lead. But the big thing here for the Turkey Hill Series is there are going to be pit stops at some point throughout the road, and that'll definitely shake things up in this race here in the Penn Grade 250. But Bobo Jones continuing to lead in the 73. Seth Cole falling behind just a little bit. Clark McKee still in the 3rd position. Owen Miles trying to get him to make a move on the 79 machine.
And you mentioned about pit stops. There will be 1 round of pit stops, and who knows if this race goes caution-free. If you get a bad pit stop or a good pit stop, might determine if you win the race or if you finish like 20th.
You can see here going side by side here, Indianapolis really slows you down. You see the gap that Bobo Jones has put on 2nd place as they battle side by side for the 2nd position. Carter Friesen, Clark McKee, and Hunter Blade on an inside lane, but Seth Cole getting that run on the outside And in these stock cars, it's a lot easier to get the run on the outside lane than it is on the inside in the Indy cars. And that's another factor into how difficult it is to make a move here at the Brickyard. Matthew Brown, Christopher Alfie back in here. That is for the 7th position. You got Chloe Reiner. Jake Rogers now inside the top 10. As Jonathan Logan's fallen back a little bit in the 63. He's currently in, I think, the 15th position. Lost a lot of ground that last lap, so not working out the best right now for Jonathan Logan. Logan Williams looking to the inside of Jake Rogers. Rogers a little wide off the corner there, but you get a really good drive off of turn 3 and turn 4 here. And for second, once again, Clark McKee trying to get it on Seth Cole. He may, if he can keep the inside entering turn number 1, he may be able to get it on the 79 right here. Carter Friesen going to try again on Owen Miles. They just can't get that run to work on Seth Cole.
Seth Cole's is hanging on really strong on that top side, but he's finally going to lose second and maybe even third, and maybe even lose fourth as well. Once you get trapped on that top side in 1 and 2, it's not good for that person.
Yeah, that outside lane in 1 and 2 isn't as strong as it is through 3 and 4. We're going to have to see how Clark McKee does on Carter Friesen, our pole sitter. Won at Pocono last weekend. Of course, he was the dominant guy in that race, even though he kind of favored off his strategy. He still was the race leader once that caution came out last week, and he's showing how strong he is on these flat 2.5-mile racetracks. Friesen now up to 3rd. Hunter Blade up to 4th. Matthew Brown, and we almost got 3 wide right here. That's Logan Williams, who had a nose to the inside of Christopher Alfie for a moment. Owen Miles is falling back now in the 52 machine, and it doesn't look like he's going to get as good of a run in this race as he would have hoped. But then again, we're not even halfway through this one yet, so he could have plenty of time to work his way back on that inside lane. But now we're going to have to see if these guys, they're going to have to work together to catch up to Bobo Jones. But Carter Friesen wants to be the guy who catches up to him first. And to the inside for second on Clark McKee. Carter Friesen with a good run there, entering turn number 3.
And Friesen, he will easily take that 2nd place spot. And now he's going to try to charge down Bobo Jones for that race lead. But here's the thing. There's going to be pit stops in about 5-6 laps or so. And that will determine who wins this race. But can Friesen catch up in time and pass Bobo Jones for the race lead before pit stops?
Matthew Brown's going to get to 3rd for Angel Racing to the inside of Hunter Blade right there, but Blade is going to hold the outside lane to his advantage. Clark McKee's going to fall back again on the outside lane. He lost a lot of momentum right there. Seth Cole, he's lost a lot of momentum. He's outside the top 10 now. Joshua Rush going to move to the inside of him right there. You got Jordan Lopez and Trey Smith on this inside lane. They're trying to move their way through the field. One guy we would like to mention, Josh King, Jacob Hammond. They've moved up a little bit in this race, but they haven't moved up as much as they would have liked. I think at the way they're currently running, Josh King would remain the points leader, but not going to be by much. And Nick Smith, we thought he was going to be really good in this race here today. He's fallen all the way back to around the 28th position. And, oh, this is going to get really interesting here. Bobo Jones has just come down the pit lane on lap 9. You got the 23 machine of Carter Friesen here. He's going to try to stretch the fuel. A lot of these guys are going to be coming down right at halfway in this race. So once again, it's pit stop pandemonium in the Turkey Hill Series.
Oh boy, they're pitting way earlier than what we would have expected them to, and this might get a little bit chaotic, especially onto getting onto pit road. But was that just Bobo Jones doing strategy, or is that actual pit stops? And it looks like it is.
Yeah, I mean, the fuel run is about 9 to 10 laps here. No one is going to try to stay out. Oh, we got a caution. We should have a caution, but we don't. At the back of the field right there, Dale Salzman, Parker Smith, Edwin Mendez got caught up in an accident, but it was at the back of the field, and the yellow was never triggered. Now, I find it interesting. Bobo Jones was the only guy who came down a lap early. Everybody else came down right here, and considering it's right at halfway, I would imagine everyone coming down at this moment will be able to make it to the end of the race. Bobo Jones, however, I don't believe has that luxury. He's going to have a caution come out so he can save some fuel and have a shot at going the distance in this one. Once again, pit stops coming into effect in a major way here at Indianapolis. Looks like it's going to be a 4-tire stop for a lot of these guys. We'll have to see if anyone pulls off any strategy. Got Matthew Brown coming off here. Chloe Reiner with a fast stop there in the 64, but Friesen will win the race off of the guys who came down on lap number 10. We can see where the number 73 of Bobo Jones is. Do not see him right now on the race. We're going to focus with Carter Friesen for now. And there is the 73 machine, but keep in mind that he will most likely have to make another stop in this race because he came in before halfway. Everyone else came in right at halfway, which would lead me to believe that they should be able to make it to the end. But Bobo Jones is not even going to be the race leader off of that strategy. It'll be Carter Friesen who takes it away on lap 11 of 20.
Friesen trying to get revenge of what happened last week at Pocono. He's proving that he has one of the best cars once again at Indy. Cycles out as the race leader, and he's going to have a good shot and probably even get this race win.
We'll have to see how it all goes down. Bobo Jones is going to pass him here for the race lead. Going to put him on the outside lane. That might bring in Matthew Brown in the 24. We have not seen much of Matthew Brown at all this season in the Turkey Hill Series, but here he is in the 3rd position. And honestly, I think the only guy he's really racing with at this point is Carter Friesen. Now, we may see Chloe Reiner, Logan Williams close their way back into this race lead, but I do not see Bobo Jones getting this one done. Bobo Jones coming into this race. I can find him here in the point standings. No, he's somewhere. He's got to be somewhere. Can't read him. 22nd in the points. That's where he is right now. So, you know, he still has an opportunity after this championship. A win here today would really help him out, but he's going to have a caution come out if he's going to have any shot at making it to the end of this race. Nobody out of the race. Everyone's still on the lead lap, but Dale Salzman there in the 12 machine was caught up in that little skirmish entering the pit lane, and he's going to fall to the back of the field. You actually can see a bit of a buckle there on the hood of the number 12 machine. Tough break for Dale Salzman. But leader Bobo Jones, he's led the most laps here today. He'll get the extra bonus point for that most likely, but I don't think he's going to be able to get the race victory.
Most likely not. Probably going to be about 1 lap short since he pit 1 lap before halfway. And most likely it's going to come down to the 23 and the 24 for this race win.
And I will say Matthew Brown is closing right into the back bumper of the 23. He's going to be there very soon. Meanwhile, Logan Williams has gotten around the 64 of Chloe Reiner for 3rd. Got the Scorpion Motorsport teammates of Hunter Blade and Christopher Alphaby up here. Christian Vargas in the 82. Phoenix winner as well, running strong. Then you got Jonathan Logan currently inside the top 10, and Clark McKee rounding out the top 10. Seth Kolb, who was one of those guys who was dominant earlier on, has fallen all the way back to... I missed him. 16th. And I did, in fact, miss him. There he is in the 79 machine. He's lost a lot of time there, about 10 seconds off the race lead at this point. And at one point, he was right on the back bumper of Bobo Jones for that race lead. And speaking of being on the back bumper, oh boy, Carter Friesen had to check up entering the corner, and that's going to give a run to Matthew Brown. Looking to the inside of Carter Friesen. We'll have to see if he can make the pass. He's going to try to do so down the front stretch here in Indianapolis.
The 24 of Matthew Brown is going to get to the inside, gives the bumper to Friesen, and this is the eventual battle for the race lead and race win, but Matthew Brown is surprisingly going to let Friesen in.
Yeah, Friesen got a good run there on that outside lane. We'll have to see if Logan Williams and Chloe Reiner help each other out and get to the front here. They're 2.5 seconds off the race lead at this point. And Bobo Jones really, really hopes for a caution to come out because we're closing in on the point of no return, where if a caution comes out, the race will end under the caution. But I don't see that happening. It's been a very clean race here at Indianapolis. Bobo Jones still the race leader, but he came in a lap before everybody else, and we're not expecting him to be able to make it. He could surprise us and try to do it, but just don't know if that's going to work for him. Matthew Brown, though, trying to get around Carter Friesen here for the 2nd position. And all 3 of these guys right on each other for the race lead, staying single file. We'll have to see if these guys close in and have a shot for this race win. 5 laps to go on the Penn Grade 250 at Indianapolis. And Bobo Jones continuing to lead this race, but Carter Friesen has a run to the inside, and he's going to have some help here from Matthew Brown for the race lead on lap 16.
And 3 cars is better than 2, so I don't think that those 2 cars in 4th and 5th will have a shot at the race win. And now Friesen, the dominant car at Pocono, one of the 2 dominant cars here at Indy, is back out front trying to get revenge, and most likely he should, keyword should, be able to get the win.
And we'll have to see here. He still has Matthew Brown to contend with, and Bobo Jones, if he gets to the inside of Friesen again and puts him on the outside, and Matthew Brown's going to be there. And don't look now, after that pass for the race lead, Logan Williams, Chloe Reiner, they closed in a little bit. We're going to have to see if they can get to the back bumper of our race leaders. It's a lot closer now than it was earlier on. I mean, you got this train of cars here. Vargas, Logan, Blade, Alphabet, McKee, Miles, Rush, Jake, Rogers, Voiles, and Lopez all in a line. And I would imagine those guys are going to be going much faster than the groups ahead of them. But Carter Friesen seems to have the fastest car in the racetrack. Hamill Racing, or should say Gonium Racing, which is the Hamill Racing Enterprises team here in the Turkey Hill Series. They have had a very strong year here with Carter Friesen. Friesen looking to become the first driver to win 3 races this season in the Turkey Hill Series. He has 3 laps to go here in Indianapolis in the Penn Grade 250. Bobo Jones, and that could have been a strategy play there for Bobo Jones. Maybe trying to get a bit of a draft on Carter Friesen so he doesn't run out of fuel here. Try to save a little bit. Because when you're leading here in Indianapolis, and that's probably why he came down early on, because he was leading a majority of that run, didn't have any drafting help so they could save fuel. But we'll have to see. He's got to save 11 laps of fuel, and the fuel window's right about 10 laps here. Matthew Brown to the inside of Bobo Jones for second. I just don't know if Bobo Jones is going to have enough time, and he's not even the race leader anymore, so odds are it's not going to work out for him. 2 laps to go next time by. Now Matthew Brown with a shot at possibly getting to the back bumper of Carter Friesen.
2 laps to go, 5 miles for Friesen. It's going to be Friesen and Brown battling for this race win, but can Matthew Brown catch up to the back of Friesen? We just have to wait and see here at Indy.
2 laps to go here at Indianapolis for Carter Friesen in the number 23. Matthew Brown in the 24 is here as well. And Bobo Jones, I would expect him to come down this time. If he doesn't, he's going to try to make it to the end. But look at Matthew Brown. He's going to have a shot at getting around Carter Friesen for this race victory. It's going to be the white flag next time by here in the Penn Grade 250 at Indianapolis. Friesen way up the racetrack there. Matthew Brown as well in the 24. And Bobo Jones in the 73. He's going to try to make it. We'll have to see if he can make it the whole way, but he's not the race leader. It's Carter Friesen. 1 lap to go in Indianapolis.
Carter Friesen out front. 2.5 miles left. Brown and Friesen. Can Brown get to the back bumper and pass him going into turns 3 and 4? If not, then most likely Friesen will get win number 3 on the season.
Matthew Brown, he's right there on Carter Friesen for this race victory. A win in Indianapolis is at hand, and to the inside for the race lead. Half a lap to go in the Penn Grade 250. Matthew Brown, Carter Friesen. Friesen with a huge run in the outside lane, but he might have overshot the corner. Brown might still have a run to the inside. We'll have to see. Carter Friesen going to roll the middle through turn 4, and I think he's going to clear him. It'll be 2 wins in a row for Carter Friesen in the Turkey Hill Series, 3rd win of the season, and it comes at the Brickyard.
Amazing one for Carter Friesen. What a job for the Gonium Racing team. And Friesen is starting to look like the heavy favorite for this championship in the Turkey Hill Series.
And he will definitely put himself top 5 in points after that one. Dale Solzman there finishing in the last position. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. Carter Friesen, Matthew Brown, Bobo Jones was able to make it. We didn't think he would be able to, but he was able to. Thankfully, no pit stop controversy or strategy at the end of that one. But Carter Friesen, pole sitter, had the fastest car of the day. Logan Williams, Chloe Reiner, the top 5. And I got to get going. So Nathan, why don't you head us out here in the Turkey Hill Series from Indianapolis?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to to Friesen on getting the race win at the famous Brickyard Motor Speedway, or the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I should say, and at the Brickyard. Friesen 2 in a row in the Turkey Hill Series, and he's gonna be a heavy favorite in this championship. For Napa fan, I'm Nathan Stapleton, and we will see you next time out on Napa fan, and for the final race of the regular season for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series tomorrow. So, for Napa fan, I'm Nathan Stapleton, and we will see you guys next time.